involves duty to my fellow man. So I applaud you and thank you for doing your duty to protect the health, safety, and well-being of the citizens of Hopkinton. I applaud all of you. Sincerely, Kathy McKay.
I think there was a question back there.
No, that was me, but his hand was up before me. I just wanted to finish up my started, but he was before I was.
Who?
The gentleman that was waiting for everyone else.
Frank.
Okay, but everyone else.
Everybody else not done.
Is there more?
Oh,
Oh my goodness, all these. Lori. Oh, no.
Go ahead.
Okay, there was.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, Scott?
Scott McDonald, Having Grid Renewables. Thank you very much for the opportunity to speak here today. Appreciate this very much. The North Country communities host 7 projects representing over 550 turbines and 1,000 megawatts of installed capacity. They operate safely, enjoy widespread community support, and provide significant, sure, and certain long-term financial benefits in hundreds of millions of dollars to the local towns, counties, and schools, and through direct payments to landowners. This North Country experience has validated with development in rural communities such as Hopkinton. Again, we have demonstrated before this board and maps in front of you that the project cannot meet the sound and setback limits proposed in the current law and the law that was passed in Parishville. They are unreasonable and provide no increase in public safety or any greater protections than the standards proposed by the company. When applying the sound and setback limits to these 7 projects, none would meet those proposed in the current law. There would be no Chateauguay, no Clinton, no Ellenberg, no Marble River, no Jericho Rise. Thank you very much. I always enjoy applause. The Maple Ridge Project, the largest wind project east of the Mississippi. And that's a project that you visited, and it was a good visit. That's a project that the opposition doesn't talk about much because there isn't anything to talk about. There would be no long-term certain revenue streams and no jobs. Hundreds and hundreds of lost jobs. With that, I'd like to recognize members of the local laborers union here showing support for the project. Hardworking folks we support as well. This is their livelihood. They live in this region. They live here and depend on these jobs to support their families in retirement. Please do not discount the importance of these jobs. Avangrid is committed to, yes, paying revenue to this town, $750,000 in payment over 30 years. This is a commitment. Let's start that negotiation. We're offering to start $22.5 million. Direct payments to landowners will exceed $15 million over 30 years. Avangrid, yes, we have offered each town resident living within 3,000 feet of a turbine the ability to enter into a good neighbor agreement. This represents $67,000 over the 30-year period. The agreement does not include a confidentiality clause, therefore the residents are free to discuss the terms of the agreement.
Right.
For
What's
town
it called then?
residents that do not have an agreement with Avangrid, yes, we are offering an electric bill payment plan that would pay 75% of the annual residential bills for year-round permanent residents for 30 years after the commercial operation date, up to $1,200 a year. We are not aware of any wind project in New York offering these benefits to the residents of any town. We are committed to working with town residents. Avangrid is willing to make a significant investment in this town, and the voice of a few should not be the deciding voice. Thank you very much.
Shopping in our town, that's interesting.
Mary Jane?
My name is Mary Jane
to me, for those of you who don't know who I am, I'm a member of the Wind Advisory Board. I've been on the board since it started in 2011. I volunteered to come back when I was asked. I've lived in this town for over 30 years. Our logging business has employed your community members, we've delivered your wood, we've contributed to town events. Many assumptions have been made in regards to what my beliefs are based on gossip and misinformation. My family has been bullied and attacked personally as a result of this. For this reason, at one point, I contemplated resigning from my position. Those responsible for this know who you are, so please stop denying that the bullying occurred. And I'd like to state that, you know, Mr. McDonald didn't heckle people when he was up here, when they were up here speaking. And I think if we were all in an area where something could be done, say like kids at school, people would be punished for the performance that just occurred. I would like to address the decision to arbitrarily split our town in two. Isn't it bad enough that this wind project has divided the town emotionally? There is no geological or physical difference between one side of 72 or the other. The board seems to make a determination to exclude south of 72 based on a list of names that was provided at the beginning of the meeting. There was no verification of authenticity of signatures or how those signatures were obtained. Some of the information provided at these meetings and these hearings is inaccurate. In my opinion, the town board has a responsibility for assigning an unbiased board member to conduct a survey. They should contact the property owners in the area south of 72, those that are excluded from the wind overlay zone, and ask them if they want to be included or excluded. I'm not here to support or not support the project. I'm just here saying that as a bystander sitting in these meetings, I think what's right needs to be done. The decision to have the overlay zone be the full area should be based on the findings of what the board finds. You passed a solar energy law in 2017 that did not divide this town in half. As a member of the Wind Advisory Board and a town resident, I have made recommendations for changes to the wind law based on hours of research, concern for the well-being of this town, the town residents, and the future of the town.
Amen.
Lori Woodrow, town of Parrishville, barely a mile over the town line of Hopkinton. Under the New York State Constitution, it is the duty of every elected official to protect the health, safety, and well-being of all residents. Regardless of your own personal beliefs or the opinions of your friends or relatives, you must look at the facts as they have been submitted over the past 20 months. During that time, you have been presented with a myriad of surveys, petitions, and by the way, all of the signatures are valid, petitions, documents, articles, letters, emails, and public comments. In each case, a majority of the evidence presented has been in favor of a law that would protect the health, safety, and well-being of all residents, and a wind overlay zone map that would limit the area where industrial turbines could be constructed. Town council members need to focus your attention on your responsibility to all town residents and landowners, not just a select few. Adopt the proposed wind energy facility local law and wind overlay zone map as presented and recommended by the Hopkinton Wind Advisory Board in May of 2017. You appointed and entrusted the Hopkinton Wind Advisory Board to draft the new local law and to delineate the wind overlay zone map. They accepted the serious nature of their appointments and they accomplished the daunting task that you assigned them, spending months in meetings and thousands of hours researching industrial wind turbines. The resulting draft law they presented is an outstanding example of compromise and respect for the concerns of all residents on both sides of this issue. Now it is time for the Hopkinton Town Board to do the right thing. Please do not continue to delay this process. The residents of Hopkinton deserve better. They deserve to have the protections afforded by the proposed wind law and wind overlay zone map as recommended by the Hopkinton Wind Advisory Board, and they deserve these things now. They have waited long enough. Thank you.